Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Welcome back to all of us to our blind playthrough of Blueprint. Still a totally blind playthrough, still at this stage. And I said welcome back to all of us because I'm always welcoming you, all of you out there, and I'm always welcoming myself back to the game, of course. I'm always coming back to it, but I'm like really coming back to it now. I'm like really coming back to it. For you guys, the last episode, I'm gonna guess, unless I've changed the schedule, probably 3 days ago. For me, the last episode, a good while ago, because this is, the last episode is the point at which, I've said in many of the previous episodes, and I would have, mentioned in the comments many of times, so, most of you will have heard this, but like, I kind of, I got so far ahead, recorded in the game, that at one point I stopped and let the episodes that are currently being released on YouTube catch up. Last episode was that point. So you can probably understand why I might have chosen that to be kind of a stopping point. Or maybe you think the opposite. Maybe you're like, why of all points would that be the point where you would take a huge break? I did take a huge break. So I'm coming back from a huge break. Guys, I'm so happy to be back in this game. Like, I know you're probably happy to be back with these episodes, but imagine how happy I am after taking a break after what just happened in the game. Anyway, we're going to get into some stuff. You and I, we're going to get into some stuff. I'm so happy to be back in this game. I'm also so nervous. I'm nervous, and I'll talk more about that as well. There's literally like a big wind, like blowing outside, and it's really like, it's very atmospheric. It feels amazing. It feels amazing right now. There's atmosphere in this moment that I'm coming back to this game. So we're going into day 118. Let's go. Oh my God. This last revelation, what can I say? I've been sitting with it for a good long while, and I have been thinking, and I have been thinking, and I have been puzzling, and I have been doing a lot of stuff. Oh God, it's so nice to be back here. It's so nice to be back here. I can't believe I'm finally stepping back in here. All of the sounds. I know that all of us watching love this game. This is the thing we're all united by, right? Like, we are all united by our deep love of Blueprints. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. So we all get it, right? But I guess you probably especially get it if you yourself have at some point taken a break from the game and come back. And you probably have this experience of going, oh my God, like just seeing this and not seeing our reflection and listening to the sounds of Simon's footsteps is so delightful. So delightful. Anyway, all right. Let me get started. Obviously, huge reveals in the last episode. Game changing, utterly game changing. So choosing that point to take a break and kind of let you guys watching the episodes get released catch up in sort of game time. And I'm not talking about completely caught up. Like, I'm not recording this as the previous episode has gone out. There's still a time gap there because I just literally need that logistically, in the way I sort of record and edit and, upload the episodes and all of that. It makes my life easier. But we are significantly more caught up now in time together. Anyway, what I've been able to do with this time, of course, and I'm not saying I've been spending 24/7 on this, on this puzzle. I have not. I've been recording other games. I've been doing other stuff in life, etc. But I have had a good chunk of time, more than I usually do between episodes, a lot more than I usually do between episodes, to analyze the living crap out of what I have seen. So I reckon, in my little notebook here, and this is, my second notebook. I've already filled up one, so I'm on to number 2. I reckon I've got a good 10 extra pages here. I'm looking at them now. And so what I'm going to do, future Rebecca, is going to be putting up a few images while I talk, so I can kind of take you along where I'm up to here. All right, where is the place to start? Gosh, I've been doing a lot, but let me cut to the chase. Have I figured out all of the no, I haven't. That's the that's the end result here. But I have done a lot. So let me take you through this bit by bit. Whew. So we got introduced to a lot. There are that rough draft, that whole extra interdimensional space-time house out there, or wherever the hell it is, wherever and in whatever form it exists. That thing is chocked full of all kinds of mysteries and all kinds of puzzles, no doubt. And it's hard to even quite get a grip on, on what is connected to what, etc. Anyway, so I'll show you how far I've come. I keep saying this. Let's start with the matching picture puzzles, because that is kind of where I started when I finished off last episode. I was like, all right, I've collected a whole bunch of letters across the rooms, but I had many missing ones because there were still some picture puzzles that I wasn't able to figure out. These are the matching pictures that are in each room that match our, if you count, gates, dates, etc. So our equivalent puzzle to that in the new house. I think I have them all now. This was kind of the first big thing that I sort of worked on, because I was like, I must know what this house-sized, room-based message is. I think, and I could be wrong, this is always the case, but I think that what I've landed on is these vying plans forge barren crest among Huam blessed spelt wrong with a T at the end. Some of these, the ones that I had remaining, they were hard, and some of them took me a really long time, and I may still have some of these wrong. I mean, maybe it's these dying plans and not these vying plans. However, that was one of the most, getting that V in that spot was one of the most joyous ones that I solved, because I think it was a picture of a Christmas tree with presents under it, and a picture of a book, and oh god, that was hard. I couldn't think of anything for the longest time, and I finally stumbled upon just coming up with just really pushing. With all of them, it was the same case. It was just a lot of the difficulty in so many of these was training myself to rethink what the image I was even looking at was. In this case, that wasn't the case. It was just coming up with more related words, So where I landed was novel for the book and Noel for the Christmas tree. And once I had that, I was like, that's it. That's beautiful. That's a thing of beauty. It was hard to get it for me. I don't know what it was like for you. Was it hard? Was it easy? That was hard for me to get, but it felt so mwah. Once I got it, I really liked that one. I can't say that I liked all of them. Some of them were hard, but not necessarily satisfying to get. Some of them, I was actually able to kind of reverse engineer to a certain degree, because I was like, I would be looking at the message and going, I'm pretty sure that the letter I'm expecting is X, not X, but insert letter. And so then I would kind of go through potential words for the pictures to think of what would fit, what would deliver that letter for me, which obviously might be going, leading myself down the wrong pathway, because we literally finish, and I'm so sure of this, we finish this message with the word blessed, spelt blest. So that in itself is already an example of where going, if I had thought that last letter was S, I would have been way off. And so it could still be the case. However, yeah, I think I've landed on the message. I've been over it and over it. What were some other hard ones? Oh my God, one of the hardest was the moon, the picture of the moon and the horse. That one drove me crazy for ages. And I'll just cut to the chase. I was just going through I felt like I'd gone through every possible horse word, mare, ride, gallop, gait, stallion, horse, pony, run, steed, canter, trot, and I was stuck on the fact that crater and canter seemed so good, but obviously didn't work as, in this puzzle format for so long. It drove me crazy. Rogue moon. But it was actually looking at it and going, there's, this moon picture, this picture of a crater, has some other complexities to it that other images don't have. Why does it have, the numeral 18 on it? And actually it has a border. And I just was able somehow to grind my brain over to thinking of, this is one of the things where I was rethinking what it is I'm looking at. And I was like, what I'm looking at is the wider picture here. It's a card. It's a tarot card. And once I got tarot, God, I'm actually looking, trot, that's right. Yeah, I was able to get tarot matched with trot, which gave me A, which I was expecting. So it clicked, and I was like, that it suddenly, it all comes together there. The worst one, the one that one that was a bit hard but was satisfying was the worm one, which I eventually got to bait on. Gee, that's a big leap of logic, but I eventually got there. I think with that one I got there because I was expecting a certain letter. Yeah, and some others. This was such a long time ago for me, and my notes are a disaster. It's a mess. So I can't even quite remember what I was after. But I do remember the worst one. The worst one that I kind of hate. But I think it delivers the letter that I was expecting, is the one that is a picture of, I thought, a suitcase and our sailing boat picture. I went through so many freaking words to try to get to this one, and the only one that came together for me is when I rethought about that box not being a suitcase, but being a lunch box. And so then I was able to get lunch and launch to deliver the A that I think I was expecting. Anyway, no, that one is not for me. I love Noel and novel. Beautiful. I love it. Great. I hate lunch and launch so much. And I may still be wrong. Maybe it's even a coincidence that that's what I've landed on and the actual thing is different. It could be, but that's what I've come to. And so there's a big spectrum of like to dislike here. Anyway, we'll move on from that. This is the message that I've been working with for a long time. These vying plans forge barren crest among Huam blessed. So I'll move on from here. I'll just tell you a few things I'm thinking about this, but here's the end. The end of this story is I still don't know what to do with this message. I am still thinking about it. So first off, here's just some overall questions I'm thinking about this message. What kind of puzzle even is this? Is this a message? Is it delivering me a message? Is it either giving me a message as it is, or will I do something to it that will eventually deliver me a message, like a clue or something like that in a message style? Is it that I'm thinking about some or all of, probably not all, but some of the words as homophones? Am I thinking about the words as synonyms? Is this whole thing actually a code or a decoder in some way? To like something that will help me decode something else, maybe. Is this message actually direct? Like, we know it's loosely related conceptually to our "if you count small gates" message in numero uno house, but is it more directly? Is it related in terms of solving the puzzle? Is it directly related to that message? We know it involves some amount of erosion because Huam is large house, but does it involve more erosion? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see any, but I don't know. And also, is it related to the picture puzzles that are in the mansion? These are just a few ways I'm thinking about what am I even looking at here? How am I tackling this as a puzzle? And then I'll just take you through bit by bit some of my sort of thoughts about what this might mean. First off, the first word, these. These. What do you mean these? It's these vying plans. What are these? If we're talking about plans, there are so many plans everywhere. This house we're in right now is a plan. The rough draft we're in is a plan. The atelier is full of plans. Like my directory is full of plans. Do you mean, I'm jumping to the word plans now, but do you mean plans as in things you intended to do in a different way? It could mean so much. There's a lot going on there. So what is these? What is these? Does it even relate to literally the word these? The rooms at the top of the rough draft that make up the word these, which is archives, chapel, antechamber, coat check, and aquarium. I'm throwing a whole bunch of things out. Vying. If it is vying, which I think it is and not dying, if it is vying, then what it means is competing. Plans that are competing with each other. Again, this depends on what we mean by plans, but I've just thought about what forms of competition do we even have represented in the game. There is a very slight bit of perhaps friendly, loving rivalry between, HSS and SHS. There's red versus black and, sort of nations and social systems and political systems against each other. I don't know. And then there's, I'll come back to this later. There's what the Baroness herself says, which is that I had so many plans, but I don't have the exact wording in front of me, but not enough dreams, I think. So again, that might speak to choices, choices in pathways that you make. Anyway, forge. These vying plans forge. They forge Barren Crest. Forge? To create? Do you mean forge as in they form something? This could be read in so many ways. Or do you mean forge as in they literally create, the actual act of creation? How? Something in the workshop? I don't know. Is it an idea? Is it a conceptual forging? I don't know. These vying plans forge Barren Crest. Barren Crest, here's my best, not my best because I don't know anything. Here's my favorite idea about this. I really like thinking that maybe what this means is barren as in the barren soil spot. It might be nothing, obviously. That's the case for everything I think in this game. But I was kind of delighted to come up with that idea. I was like, yeah, it might mean the barren soil spot that has driven me crazy the whole game. I've always wondered about that. Why is there one spot which is a barren soil spot? Why? I used to think Clara might be buried there in the early game, Something like that. I don't think that anymore. It could literally still be true, but, anyway, maybe it's barren as in the barren soil spot. Maybe it's barren as in some other kind of barren, but that's literally like a thing that is quite prominent in the game, the barren soil spot. Of course, it could also mean the Baron, Herbert. It could also mean the Baroness, because of everything that would make sense about that. What's the Barren Crest? Okay, crest. Crest is such an interesting word. You can take crest in a lot of ways. The Barren Crest, maybe the first thing to think about is it the Mount Holly family crest? Is it their shield? Is it the crest in the wine cellar? That sort of thing. Is it or one of the other sort of things that we see about the place? Is it the family core? I don't know. Is it a crest in any way? Who knows? But the other way of taking the word crest is, of course, the crest of a mountain, the apex, a crown. Well, mountains are very, mountain peaks, in fact, are very important in this game. It could just mean Mount Holly. And that in itself could mean, I'm not even going to go through it, it could mean 1,000 things that we've already talked about, extensively at other points. But it could also mean crown. Barren Crest could be a reference to a crown, which also could mean many, many things. So that's where I'm at with that. Okay, these vying plans forge Barren Crest among Why among? I don't know, thinking about that. Among Huam blessed. Well, Huam we know is Iranian for large house. Large house. Do you mean this large house? Or do you mean, this? It's not this, but over there. Do you mean that other large house that we just discovered? Our neighboring large house, our neighboring interdimensional large house. I don't know. Blessed. All right. Blessed could mean so many things. But could mean something to do with the shrine. Could mean a shrine blessing or something else to do with the shrine. Could mean something else to do with sacred. But one other idea I have about this is that it actually could point towards the storeroom, because the storeroom in that rough draft house is the T of blessed, and it feels very important. That T feels important, right? Maybe it's talking about the storeroom. Well, what's interesting about the storeroom? Well, one thing that's interesting about the storeroom is that it includes a little model of a house. That's not a large house, it's a small house. So, but I do think, I was tickled by that idea. Because I've always been interested in that little house in there, like, does it mean anything? Why is it there? One of the this is just one of the cool things about discovering this whole rough draft, is that so many ideas, cool but dangerous, I should say, so many ideas that I've had about things in this house here, this house here, kind of can possibly get reignited by the discovery of our second rough draft house now. Because things that I thought at some point might apply here but didn't seem to, could now actually apply to this other house. It could be, it was this the whole time. I'm obviously keeping that thought. I'm not obviously anything. I'm trying, obviously not to go too crazy with that thought. It's just a little thing I'm letting kind of hang there to the side. I'm not focusing on it. But for example, I was always interested in what other mysteries there might be in Den, for example. Maybe this house Den, nothing. Maybe other house Den, something. It does have a clock in it that has black and blue hands pointed to 8 o'clock, I think. So who knows? Maybe I've got to be in that den at 8 o'clock. It's a very light idea. It's one of my many hundreds of potential ideas. Not a big thing I'm putting a lot of stead into yet. Okay, so look, that's the Vine Plans, I think, message, and that's as far as I've come with it. I don't know what to think about it. But on this topic, what it did make me realize when I was thinking about Huam being large Irajan for large house, it made me realize that when we go back to our Baroness message of, where do I have it? So she gave us two notes in the library. One is the tended rosevine note. I've been over this a lot as well, and I think I mostly feel pretty comfortable with a lot of this message, because I think a lot of this message, the tended rosevine one, is pointing us towards what we've just discovered. It's telling us the waters of the West Spring, which I think mean use the still water, shall reveal more secrets than these mere passages. We know that refers to secret passage where you use the still water. So that I feel is covered. The stuff in here that's still a big question for me is really where she says, stay vigilant and rose-wary. Well, we've just discovered, yet another meaning for the thorns and the roses, right? Like all of the messages in the rough draft that give us yet another overall house message that I'll get to. For the thorns we discover, well, I did discover thorns. I discovered thorns that have words and a message associated with them, are twice as sharp. What do you mean twice as sharp? At the conclusion of each of our journeys. Conclusion, what do you mean by conclusion? Each of our journeys. I'm just like pulling these words apart and trying to think of what this actually refers to. Does it even mean, the conclusion of each of our journeys? Are you referring to the tomb? Are you referring to death? I don't know. Are you referring to the words? Like the words in the message itself? I don't know. And the other thing, I will just say in this Tended Rosevine message that is of great interest to me, of great interest to me, is where she finishes. She said, I had so many plans, but not enough dreams. Well, why say that? Why say that? Why, Baroness? Why say that? There are so many plans. There are so many plans everywhere. There are so many plans in your life, in your atelier, but not enough dreams. So I thought, what could this refer to? First thought is sleeping, calling it a day somewhere. That's been a big part of my interpretation of sleeping and dreams in this game so far. It might also refer to bedrooms, to the color violet. It might also refer to the rough draft library that has a bed's picture in it. I have that written down here. I hope my note is correct. And it might also, the only other thing I've got is that it might refer to the word Ain, which is dreams in Eurasian. But I'm actually most interested in the calling it a day thing. So I actually wonder if I need to call it a day in the rough draft, maybe even in certain rooms. But there are so many candidates for that room, if it is anything. So anyway, that's the Tended Rosevine. But what I actually wanted to take you to was the other message that we get from her in the library, the hidden hue, because I realized you could interpret a hidden hue. Obviously, we are talking about colors here. This is the big puzzle. So what I've given you now are sort of tasters, I think. I don't, they also might be huge in their own way, but this is the big puzzle I've really stuck my teeth into. Let's turn back. So a hidden hue, I'm jumping around a little bit, but I realized through thinking about huam, I realized a couple of things. One is that a hidden hue might also refer to hue house. So we might be talking about a hidden house. Which begs the question, where is all this going? What is the end point of all of this? I have no idea. I've never had much of an idea in this game, and that's one of the delightful things. I don't know what I'm even seeking. I don't know what I'm seeking. I'm seeking something. I don't know what it is. Is it a hidden hue? Is it a hidden house? And if it is a hidden hue house, what house are we talking about? Are we talking about the small house that's in the storeroom? Probably not. Are we talking about just the whole rough draft? Is it simply a reference to the rough draft? Is it simply saying the title of this message is a hidden hue, which at that point when we read it, we hadn't found it. We've now found it. We're in the hidden hue, maybe. We're in the hidden house, which is the rough draft house. So it could be that. Or they could mean a hidden house politically, like a hidden house in terms of not black Arinda house, Aries, but blue Mount Holly, Baroness house, her family house, right? It could mean that. Anyway, so that's a thought. But this also made me go back to, it sort of just instantly clicked when I was thinking about all of this. Hang on. Huam, large house. Mayhew, small house. So of course I had always been curious about what Mary meant in her message that we find in the dove coat, where she says the Mayhew life. And I actually titled one of the, way back when we found that message, I loved the phrase so much and I didn't know what it meant, but I liked it. So I decided to title one of the episodes with that phrase, but I didn't know what it meant. And my best guess was that it meant Matthew, because I think Mayhew can be a form of the name Matthew, and her, Matthew is in her, like Mary Matthews, it's a part of the names that are used and everything like that. So it seemed like it could be something like that. Maybe it's to do with her life with Daniel, However, now I'm like, oh, small house. When she says, and she says this, the Mayhew life suits me, I think. After years of being confined in a tiny dormitory, the small place Daniel and I have picked out in Reddington feels more like a stately manor. So I think that makes sense. She's just saying, after living a lot of my student life in the manse, in this big mansion here, she's saying, I think the small house life suits me. I think I'm happy to be in a smaller house. Even though she's definitely not in a small house by anyone's standards, right? It's a big house. So that was a cool realization to have. All right, back to the meat. Back to the meat, everybody. The hidden hue. We have this message that we have put together through the entire house. And that message is written on the rose vine cards, and it is through lantern. And here's the thing, even thinking about where to slice this message up is kind of like a bit of a puzzle in itself, because you can do it in a few different ways. But here's what I've landed on. Through lantern light in sketches cast, a tint of truth to find our path, a hue of wisdom to turn us right, a shade of rain to pass the light. This is like story time. Through lantern light in shadows past, we seek what's left of the lies we cast. Do I know what this means yet? No, I don't, but I have come quite far with it, and I have discovered some things, and I have definitely some many ideas. I'm sure that this relates to our Baroness's hidden hue message that we saw in the library, which says, from prism pristine, 3 paths convene, 3 lines of light, 3 shades foreseen, 3 colors to count, a sum of 18. Excuse me. But the one left hidden remains to be seen. So how do we even begin here? Let me tell you what I did first. So obviously, during the episode itself, I was, and I'll future Rebecca is hopefully going to put this up on the screen now. I was taking notes on, I had 5 different maps, essentially, that I was creating at once. One was the overall house map, which was showing what the rooms were and what their sort of like exit orientation was. But of course I realized, very quickly, we have a much more complicated house here. We have a house that has corridors in between the rooms. So this is like a 2-layered maze, at least. We've got the rooms, we've got the corridors, and the corridors have walls in them, so we have to map this whole maze. I made a huge messy map of this as I was doing it on the spot. And I quickly realized, all right, we've also got a maze of lamp lights. So I had to quickly start making a lamp light map separately, which is a mess. We had these vying plans letter map. I was also writing the map of the words we were finding on the rose thorn cards through lantern light, blah 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 blah. And I was also making a map of the colors or the crests that were on the Morajai puzzle box we were finding. I don't know if that's anything, because what kind of complicates that one is that some of them have multiple. Not each room is associated with only one thing, like with Morajai or with Arinda Aries or anything like that. Some of them have 2 or even 4 different cores that they're associated with. So I don't know if that's anything. I haven't thought of anything to do with that yet. The main thing was that I was faced with this maze of a house here. So I have created a huge mess here. I need to neaten this up, and I will, hopefully future Rebecca right now will show you, I come up with a much neater version of this map that, it hopefully makes things a lot clearer. You can see I made a couple of mistakes here and there, because how I was doing this was I was using some of my notes that I took on the spot, literally as I was recording that episode, going through the house, but I also have the recordings. So this took, ages. It's not quick, but I was able to go back through the recordings bit by bit to either confirm or to fill in some of the gaps. So I think I have a proper complete map here of that house, which is no doubt critical because obviously it takes steps to go through here. We can't just go in there and wander around willy-nilly. What I was keen... So I can't even remember like exactly the order in which I kind of tackled this. But I was looking... We've got this map here. I'm like, there's a maze. This is a maze. We have to make our way through the maze. We have to find something. We're seeking something. You know, we're being told we're seeking something. What are we seeking? What are we doing here? I don't know. I still don't know. But if we interpret this message through lantern light in sketches cast, well, that might just refer to this map, to this house, to this rough draft that has lantern light all through it, right? And it's in a sketch because this is a rough draft. It's the things that seem clear to me, and I could be wrong, but the things that I feel very strong about is that a tint of truth is referring to color. And I don't know about you, I would personally say a tint of truth is surely blue. There's one single blue lantern. I've done a lot of lantern analysis. I'll just say there's one single blue lantern right at the start, right on like rank 1. That's important. That's important. Is that the tint of truth to find our path? Is that saying this is where you begin? Well, that's what I thought for a long time. It may still be true, but this question has become more complicated as I've gone on. A hue of wisdom to turn us right. It sure seems like we're being given directions here, right? And if a hue of wisdom, I would sure put that down as Carrarica. I would say wisdom is associated with Carrarica, which is orange. So is a hue of wisdom orange, lantern light? And what does it mean to turn us right? Okay, I'll move on. A shade of rain, Iraja. Iraja, right? Iraja, violet, to pass the light. Through lantern light in shadows past. I don't know if this means that we have passed. I don't know. This line is driving me crazy. We seek what's left of the lies we cast. Well, I'm having to jump around a little bit. Let me just get to this particular line here and some of the ways I've thought about it. I have torn this line to pieces. We seek what's left of the lies we cast. Okay, we seek. First off, the question I was asking before, what on earth are we seeking? What is this about? What are we seeking? I feel like we're probably seeking a key for the antechamber / vestibule, the vestibule antechamber. If we are seeking a key, what key are we seeking? There's nothing, as far as I recall, it's a fairly ordinary looking keyhole, but I have wondered, could we be seeking, we are in fact in the Baroness's blue rough draft, blue house, her Mount Holly blue house, right? Could we be seeking a blue key? Is there the same way that we have the black key, the Aries key, right? Is there a blue key maybe? I don't know. And also, I'm very interested in the color white. You know, I've talked about this before, the huge absence of the color white in a lot of ways. Could we be seeking a white key? Because maybe that's the hidden hue. I don't know. Maybe the hidden hue is just blue. It's blue. Is it blue? Is it white? I don't know. Or are we seeking the house or a house, but in what form? And yeah, in what form? I don't know. So that's the we seek part. What's left, obviously, right? There's two ways we could take this, at least. What's left, what is literally left, not right, what is to the left of the lies we cast. So this could be spatial, this could be directional. But it might also mean what's left, as in what is left over. What is left over. So I did try like blocking out, putting the house in block form, essentially, where, so that you can see the rooms, you can see all of the available paths, whether they are rooms or whether they are hallways, and you can see the blockages, again, whether they are room walls or whether they are hallway walls. And doing that in a kind of, a black and white way in fact in my notebook red because I use a red pen, has helped me to see a lot of things much more clearly. It helps to be able to see what the actual nature of the maze is when you combine the rooms, the access points and the blockages between the rooms and the hallways. And all right, I'm going to have to come back to this one. I've got to jump because we're not there yet. If I go back to thinking about this message through lantern light, my original thinking is this is a pathway. We're being given directions, a pathway. So I thought, all right, a tint of truth to find our path. Surely this means blue. The blue memos, blueprints, we are truth, they are truth, blue. The single blue lantern is our start. If we consider that, a hue of wisdom to turn us right, okay, is there some way we can go forward from the blue lantern and then turn right at orange and then maybe pass through a violet light, a shade of rain to pass the light, and find something that is to the left of the lies we cast, perhaps red are lies. I thought about this and I've tried this. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I have come up with a possible thing. That leads you only a short way from the blue lantern up 2 squares, essentially, where we then turn right at the first available orange. And then from the orange, we... how do we go? We go... I'm just looking at my terrible notes here. We go like up. And basically, where I think this gets me, if you look to the left of a red lantern, is one of 2 things. Left of the lies we cast, I think might refer to left of a red lantern, so at the back of the lavatory, which is a space of interest for me because it's a little sort of dead end at the back of the lavatory. And I've gone back through my footage of which, I'm very thankful to have, but at the same time, the problem is because I'm looking at it after I've already been in the house, I can't change anything. So if I didn't go anywhere in that episode, I can't see it. And so obviously I went past that little section at the back of the lavatory, like north of the lavatory, and I'm just like, oh, it's a dead end. I look at it and I walk past, but I don't go into it. I'm very interested in this space for that reason. So I really want to go and look at it today. But I don't know if it's anything. And if there's let's say that it's a space of importance and I need to go there. Maybe I need to go there with something. Maybe I need to have a certain tool or an item with me and something will appear. I don't know. My goal for today, if I can, is just to go and look at it. My other possible interpretation of this, if it's not to the left of that lantern, not the next left from that lantern, after we pass a violet on the left, anyway, is that maybe it refers to a red room as a lie. The lies we cast refers to a red room, which is the lavatory itself. And I was kind of delighted with that idea. I was like, imagine if all this time the important thing is in the lavatory, which I've, again, always been fascinated with since the start of the game. But again, the lavatory in a different house. The other lavatory, the alternative lavatory. Wouldn't that be cool? So those 2 things are next to each other. I just want to go and have a look today. Maybe that's something. But I have not stopped there. This was sort of this reflects my initial interpretation of all of this. What I realized, I just kept doing more analysis. I kept just trying to find, not knowing what anything was going to do, I kept just trying to write down different forms of the map. So, and try to analyze things in different ways. So what I realized I needed to do was this lantern thing was confusing the heck out of me, especially written in crazy, rough, sketchy form in a red pen. It was very hard to interpret, just all of these letters everywhere. So I went, I haven't done it a single time in any of my notes, but I'm going to have to use different colors here to try and make sense of this. So I got different colors out. I drew out a blocked out version of the access and the non-access in the, in the house, like a version that basically shows what the maze is. And I put down every single lantern color in its actual color so that I could see more clearly what's going on here. I realized I have one single lantern that I did not look at. It is it's between Passageway and I think West Wing Hall. It drove me crazy because I went back through the footage over and over again, and I just simply do not look up at the lantern there. So it's the one single lantern I don't have, but I reckon I know exactly what color it is because of what I figured out next. From putting these lantern lights down, the act of drawing the colors revealed to me pretty soon that I could see violet colors forming a distinct pathway. Being able to put the colors down like this, it suddenly became clear. I was like, there are sections where there are a lot of colors that seem to, kind of be close together, and there are sections of the house that don't have any of that color in them. So I quickly realized, I can follow the first violet lantern at the start on rank 1, and I can draw a pathway through the house. It's very winding, but I can draw a pathway through the house that gets you right outside the antechamber. That was huge. That was a huge revelation. And I think that's the point where I went back to a hidden hue and I realized this might be what it's talking about. The paths from Prism Pristine, 3 paths convene. So I did that I tried to do that with the other colors, and what I've realized is I've got 3 paths, baby. I got 3 paths: violet, red, and orange. Crazy revelation. There are 3 paths of lantern color that you can get in this dang house. So, and they all lead to antechamber. They all come from rank 1. They lead to antechamber. Whew, that felt like such a huge victory, and I feel so happy and amazed. I feel amazed to have gotten there. I'm so glad that I actually went to the trouble of writing these lantern colors out in the actual color. That was a huge revelation. Absolutely amazing and so clever. I'm just going to say such clever game design, because I feel it is the act of drawing them out on a map that reveals this. That's excellent game design, I think. Excellent puzzle design right there. So, mwah, chef kiss. Though, here's, what do I do with this is the question. And what does it mean? Does it actually match up with the rest of the clues that we seem to be given, right? A hidden hue says from Prism Pristine. Now I think I know what this means, because in the actual atelier itself, and I've written out all of the things that are on the walls here so I can try to make sense of what clues we're being given here. There is a thing on the wall of the atelier that says the prism, and it's on our map of 45 rooms, and it says in this order: green, violet, yellow, red, blue, orange. I didn't realize at first, but as I was drawing all of these maps and going back to this, etc., and especially the lantern color map, I eventually clicked, oh, this is exactly the order, because I was trying to think, what the hell does this order mean? What does it apply to? But it is exactly the order of the rank 1 lanterns: green, violet, yellow, red, blue, orange. So my current theory is that this is what the prism is. The prism, or rather, this is what the Prism Pristine is. The Prism Pristine, I think, refers to kind of rank 1 before we step in to the lantern light, potentially. So it's our starting position. If we take it that way, then it means from Prism Pristine, 3 paths convene. Well, they convene at the antechamber, if that's what you mean. They start at different points at the Prism Pristine. Or maybe it just means they start. I don't know if it means they start or they finish. 3 lines of light. Yes, got it. 3 lines of light, got it. 3 shades foreseen. I don't really know what that means. I don't know how they were foreseen. I don't know how they were foreseen. Violet, red, and orange? I don't know. 3 colors to count, a sum of 18. I've tried this in a few freaking ways, and I don't know what this means yet. This one still eludes me. I've tried counting the lanterns that are actually used in the path, and none of them are 18. The red path has 19 lanterns, the violet path has 22 lanterns, and the orange path has 21 lanterns. The leftover lanterns, if you take the paths out, also don't sum 18. So yeah, I think I've tried this in a few ways and I haven't landed on what that means. But the one left hidden remains to be seen. Okay. What do you mean the one left hidden? Do you mean the blue? There's one. Is that hidden? There's one blue lantern. Is that hidden? Or do you mean white? There's no white at all. Well, neither is there black. All of this brings me to what on earth does our Baroness mean? Because she has something else written on the walls of the atelier that says 3 primary colors, 3 primary paths. Okay, primary? There are multiple definitions of primary colors. If we're talking about real-world definitions of primary colors, there are multiple things. The traditional understanding, as far as I'm aware, of primary colors is red, yellow, blue. Well, the paths we have are red, violet, and orange. So only one of them is the same. It's not even the leftover. It's not the non-path colors or the path colors. It's a mix, so it doesn't match at all. Red, yellow, and blue is the traditional primary colors. Primary colors that are understood in terms of like digital printing and things like that are often thought of as red, green, and blue. Red, green, and blue. Well, that's also not red, violet, and orange, is it? But it's also not. It's not the leftover colors either. And then, and then in printing, often cyan, magenta, and yellow, which could be interpreted as blue, violet, and yellow, which is still neither the path colors or the non-path colors. And then I thought, well, what if primary colors refers to the important colors in blueprints, which, as far as I'm concerned, are blue, white, and black, which has come up over and over and over and over and over again. Well, they're not there at all except for blue. There's no white and there's no black in terms of lanterns and also in terms of the room colors. So I felt like that should match up. I felt like I should go, oh, primary colors. It relates to these 3 pathways we found. However, as far as I can tell, it doesn't. So this is yet another connection I don't understand. I don't understand yet. I don't understand that yet. But anyway, so that's kind of as far as I've come with those actual lantern lights, let's say. I would like to go today, if I can, and actually confirm that the missing lantern color I have is violet. I'm so sure it's violet because it's in the path. It's in the violet pathway. There, it has to be. It has to be violet. But I'd like to confirm it, of course. So one idea that I have for today is not just to check out those particular bits that I mentioned, like the lavatory and behind the lavatory, basically. It's wondering if what the game is telling me is to take these pathways. But do I take all 3 of them? Which would mean, surely, starting on rank 1, taking one of them all the way to the antechamber. Do I then take a different one back down and then take the 3rd one back up again to the antechamber? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like that's what I'm being told to do in the message, in either of the message, in the lantern light message or the hidden hue message. I don't know. It's just literally something to try. Here's yet another complicating factor. Dear readers, dear watchers, here's another complicating factor to this. The game many times tells us, and in fact the atelier itself also tells us, it says on the wall, don't go where the path leads. So why have I discovered these paths? Why have I discovered these paths? Now, think it must be important, because not only does she tell us literally in the atelier, don't go where the path leads, she tells us, the Baron tells us, I think like right here, right? Let's have a look. It's been a while since I've looked at this. Is it this one? Wonder what dreams lay ahead. You know what? Maybe I've totally got the wrong thing. Somewhere or other, in one of his notes, I can't remember which one it is now. I don't have it written down in my notes here. He tells us don't go where the path leads. And I'm pretty sure something else somewhere also tells us don't go where the path leads, but I haven't written these down in my notes right here. There's also what we find in the safe house written on the wall from our mother. We seek what's in the shade of truth. That's different to how this house message finishes. We seek what's left of the lies we cast. We seek what's in the shade of truth. The shade of truth. So I'm very interested in what that might mean. Does the shade of truth, if we imagine that truth is blue, this is so crazy. If we imagine that truth is blue, and therefore the single blue lantern light that we have, then I have done a lot of thinking about what is in the shade of truth. For example, the storeroom that I talked about being of interest to me before is in the shade of the blue lantern. The pantry is in the shade of the blue lantern. Maybe it means something else. You know, like I'm just thinking about literally like proximity, shade, what's maybe literally just outside of the lantern's light. You know, if you go around the corner of the pantry, stuff like that. I don't know. Everything that's inside the storeroom, because of the way it's oriented, is in the shade of the blue lantern. You know, like it's hidden from the blue lantern, though it's near the blue lantern. You know what I mean? It's shaded. So what am I being told here? Am I being told to take the path or to not take the path? This spurned me on to doing another block out map of this house and blocking out the 3 paths, and seeing if, you know, what's left of the lies we cast, seeing if what's left, the leftover space itself maybe revealed a path. But it freaking doesn't. It doesn't. It's just actually random white space all over the place. The paths don't, you know, if you look at the space that's not the 3 color lantern paths, it just simply doesn't reveal another path. Unless it does in another way I'm not considering, but it doesn't reveal an obvious pathway anywhere. It's just like there's just big blocks of whatever, you know, a big block where the paths don't go, little bits and pieces here or there. There's no pathway. We actually get cut off by these paths, so I don't think that that's it. So I don't think it's the leftover from the 3 paths. I've thought about leftover in terms of the lanterns themselves, you know, and I've gone, all right, like, so there's, you know, the leftover lanterns, well, there's 9 leftover red lanterns, 5 leftover violet, there's 1 leftover orange lantern, there's only 1 orange lantern that you don't go through in the path, and if you sum them together, that equals 15, which is not an interesting number to me. And I don't know, just of sort of interest is that the total lanterns, there are 99 of them. And, you know, the other lanterns, the other color lanterns don't sum anything interesting either. There's 8 green, there's 12 yellow, there's 1 blue, that equals 21. It's also not a number of interest to me. So, you know, does it mean don't go where the path leads? Does it mean don't go into the antechamber? Don't go into the vestibule antechamber? I don't know. The paths bring me to the outside of it. Maybe I actually don't go into it. I don't know. This is a pretty rough hypothesis, right? Like it's not a lot to go on. So what else have I got? Okay, I have some more things. Guys, I have some more things. Sit down. One of the other things that's sort of similar to this, let me jump ahead, is that I actually tried putting a new map down that I hadn't originally written down in the last episode. And that is the actual rooms themselves, the colors that each room in that house is associated with. Now that has revealed something interesting. That has revealed that the numbers of the room don't seem to be anything interesting. There's tons of blue. There's, depending on how you categorize antechamber, whether it's blue or orange, because I don't know whether it's antechamber blue or vestibule orange. So it's either there's 23 or 24 blue, there's red 8 rooms, there's 7 or 8 orange rooms, there's 3 yellow, 4 green, 5 violet, 0 black, 0 white. But what it reveals when you put them in map form is that there are 2 lines of blue, entirely blue lines from east to west and from north to south, and they intersect at 5D. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. I got excited. They intersect at 5D, rank 5, and like column D, A, B, C, D, which is the ballroom. I don't know if that's important. And I don't know if it matters. Like, maybe you could try forging a pathway from the first blue room, like on rank 1, all the way up. That's another thing to try. It's a bit weird because it's not really... You can't... So, for example, that begs the question of, like, if you're trying to go through all of the blue rooms and none of the other rooms, I think you could possibly do it. But you are passing through loads of different lantern lights. So I don't know. It seems like such a weird idea that doesn't seem to accord with our lantern light message or our hidden hue message. So yeah, so there's that. So there's that as well. All right, let me tell you another thing. I've also been thinking about... So there's some other things written in the atelier, like the fact that she says there's 12 dead ends, but there's actually only 9 dead end rooms. And I thought, could it mean dead ends in terms of the hallway dead ends? But no, there's way more of them. There's not 12. So I don't know what that refers to. And there's also a picture that actually looks like a section of a house. I don't really know if it is, but it looks like a section of a house that has like 2 columns of 3 lines in it. I find that interesting. I don't know what it means. Are letters meant to go there? Is it referring to actual levels? You know, like going up? None of the rooms go up. That's of interest to me. But it also means we can't go up or down. There's no clock tower in there, you know? So I don't know what that means. A little thing. Here's a small little tidbit that I have written down in my notes here. In the atelier, on the actual like drawing board, in her letter, she says, Baroness says, I had even secured an arrangement with a local firm which was to oversee the mass production of the floor plans. I think I might have even mentioned, is she referring to Sinker? And I suppose, is the idea that this mass production didn't happen then because she decided to keep this house to herself and not to make it publicly accessible? And this a little conspiracy theory here, but does this mean that someone in Sinker was bitter about the lost business that they might have gotten from all of this? I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thought, but I don't think it necessarily means anything. But I love thinking about what's going on at Sinker, what's going on with that. I swear we will soon be playing, but I definitely have some other things to mention. I think at a minimum, what I would like to mention to you is... Oh, all right, one other little thing, because it's still in the house. I've also thought, could the hue, because we're talking about a hidden hue, right? Could it also refer literally to the rooms in the rough draft that make up the letters hue, H-E-W, which is bedroom, drawing room, and gallery. Now, 2 of those rooms are highly interesting to me. So I do find that interesting. The bedroom in the rough draft is super suspicious to me. Why is it suspicious? I hope future Rebecca is also going to put something up here. This is hard to notice, but it's weird. It's weird. When you first go into the atelier, and I don't know if it happens the next time we go into it or what, but when I went in there, when I opened that door, when you open that door, a whole bunch of room plans come down on the top of the screen and go like, they go past you before the door opens or as the door is opening. I've looked at that. I have written down all of the rooms that are represented there. This is just part of my mad analysis of everything I can think of, what's going on here. So the test draft has 25 rooms that appear. 25. One of those rooms, bedroom, is a different color to the rest. It might mean nothing. There might be even some programming reason for it. It might be an accident. But to me, it is very notable. It is drawn in grey lines. It is the only room that is drawn in grey lines. And bedroom, of course, is the Baroness's bedroom. It's the Baroness's room. I just find bedroom in this house very suspicious for that reason. So bedroom is a real room of interest to me. It's also the H in hue in our room messages, in our room letters. And gallery, of course, is the room that has, I think, another puzzle in it. It's got the moon puzzle. It has the gallery word puzzle, except it gives us in each one of the letters, and they together spell out moon. So I've, of course, spent time on this as well, and I have not solved it. I don't know what it is, but I have come up with a big, long list of all of what I so far think are maybe all of the possible words, if you consider conventional English words, that could fit into these various things. Now, if we start with the smallest one, which in the house was the equivalent of think, it's 5 letters. It's the M of moon, so that's why I'm thinking it maybe goes first. It's a smaller list of words that fits in there. We only have the M to go by. Interestingly, this includes the word among. Among is, a word of interest because it's in our sort of overall house word puzzle. But it could also be small, smart, smash, amber, email, empty, image, smoke, amass, amaze, ample, amuse, smile, smell. I don't know, or it could be something else. I've come up with a range of possible words for each of them. For example, the second one that has O in the second position of a 6-letter word, it could be locker or locked. It could be boiler. I'm just naming some of the ones of interest. It could be a whole bunch of them. It could be toilet. These are rooms that we have. Quartz, hollow. Like hollow has come up in the hollow, the sea, the hollow with the sea of stars or something in Alzara's, one of Alzara's predictions. It could be the word houses that fits. I don't know. Golden, mother, toward, wooden, sounds, forest, colors. It's so many things, Monkey. I've even thought of monkey and the fact that there's a monkey in room 8, stuff like that. The third word that starts with the letter O and has 7 letters, one of the most interesting ones you can fit in there is Arindia. But it could also be observe, objects, obvious, octagon, opening, oranges, outdoor, obelisk, all kinds of things. And then the final word, which is 8 letters long, and the second last letter is N. This has so many words associated with it, I haven't gone through them all, but I have considered that it could end in ing, which I think is compelling, which means it could be words like thousand, becoming, unknowns, as a non-ing word though. Waltzing. It might be weird, but I thought about the waltzing Simon and Clara in the ballroom. Squaring, thinking, matching, flipping, baffling. You could imagine it could be any of these. But I haven't so far been able to use them to actually come up with something that seems like a compelling message. So it's a start, you know. It's a sort of a start, but the problem is there's so many possibilities. I think I want to tell you two more things, right? Two more things. I know this is long, but like, guys, so much happened. So much happened. Two more things. All right, I'll limit myself. One is that not only have I been going through these immediate new revelations, but I've also been going back through many other mysteries, many other remaining mysteries and like just letters and notes and things that we have in the house, right? To try and make sense of this. Look, I've also been working on the other blue door puzzle. So I don't know. I haven't come up with a, ding. I haven't had the light bulb moment with it, but I've been coming up with other things to think about. Anyway, I won't go into that. Maybe they're freaking related. I've been considering this. I got nothing yet. But one thing I have gone back to, and I thought I was compelled by this, though it hasn't ended in a huge revelation. I went back to the note we see in the clock tower, our sacred note. Southward I see a swan, blah, 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 blah. And the reason I did this, I've jumped ahead a little bit, is that one of the things I did is I actually wrote out a new map of this house, but actually put down, like in the past, where I stopped with this is I wrote out our letter. Once I solved our letter puzzle, if we count small gates, I was just like set with that. Like, great, we've got it. We've got the puzzle. It's done. I have never, until, between this episode and the last, I have never gone back and actually made a full map of what the pictures are in this house. The picture puzzle pictures. Because, of course, each one is actually, this is what I hadn't really clicked with, each one is actually fully associated with a space, the same way that the letters are. I don't think I really knew that when I was originally, playing the original game and doing this original puzzle. I probably was imagining at that stage that the pictures themselves were probably, that there were a few different options it could be, right? Like there were different pictures that would give you an A. And so maybe if you needed an A somewhere, a different version of something that would deliver an A would appear in that room that day. No. It's the same. Each of the pictures is associated with a space in the house. So I've written out that map. And where I went with that was connecting it with the sacred note, because I suddenly thought, hang on, if our rooms, this is a whole new way for me at this stage in the game to be thinking about the rooms. The rooms are actually associated with very specific pictures. I did know that for some of them, for the plans, because I know the picture of the plans that are in the, there's one in the East Wing and there's one in the West Wing, one on rank 2 and one on rank 8 in the East Wing. These have remained of interest to me, as you will have seen and heard, because they have, I don't know, I just think that's interesting. Like, it seems suspicious to me. Obviously, they show the letter that space is associated with, but I've also thought, like, could it be that there's something else going on here? They have some mysterious letters on them, numbers, I don't know. But they've always kind of captured my mind a little bit, and I think it's also because the West Wing one is on the barren soil spot, I think, if I have it in the right spot. Anyway, so I wrote that out. It made me realize a couple of things that might be kind of random. One is that there's only one, like a lot of the pictures repeat in different combinations, obviously. There's only one space. Oh, no, sorry. I'm misinterpreting my notes here. There's only one space that has certain things in it. So there's only one space that has the house. The house picture is right below the antechamber. I just find that interesting because the house is interesting. This is not interesting puzzle-y. This is just interesting in terms of Rebecca's specific blueprints playthrough lore is that only one time in this entire playthrough have I drafted a room in rank 8 column B. And so I was only through one single day, able to figure out that the pictures associated with that spot are bat and boat, which gets you the O in count. However, every other day that spot has been has had the foundation on it, which means it's impossible for me to see the picture puzzle there. That's just a little interesting thing about the playthrough. That's nothing to do with the puzzles. But as I said, I finally did this. It was a huge kind of basic revelation for me. And I realized, like, yeah, it's interesting actually to think about the spaces having these quintessential relationships to these pictures, the actual pictures and the ideas in the pictures. And that made me think about the sacred puzzle, I don't even know if it's a puzzle, honestly, but the sacred note in the clock tower. Because I thought, could some of these ideas be associated spatially, in terms of spatial relationships in the house? So, for example, southward I see a swan. Well, that's not a swan isn't represented in any of the picture puzzles, but it could be related to a room. So it could be telling you to, for example, put den, clock tower, or walk-in closet that each have swans in them. It could be telling you to put the swan somewhere, to put one of those rooms somewhere. Ashen like sands of the shore. Well, there are some pictures that are associated with sands and shore. So I've mapped those out. Carried by westwardly winds, I thought could possibly be related to the plane. We see the plane flying in some pictures. So I've mapped that out. Rogue like the moon of the north. Well, the moon, the rogue moon above, like no doubt the rogue moon where it is above, in room 46. Eastward, I see a crow. Well, some of the pictures have crows in them, so I've mapped those out. And I was getting excited while I was doing this because I was thinking, if there is a space that we can put directly under the rogue moon, so the rogue moon is north of us, which would mean in column C, ABC, directly under room 46. And if we could have a crow to the east and a swan to the south, is this starting to be something? But I actually can't make it happen. I just can't. Like, between where these actual pictures are, it doesn't work. I just wanted to explain to you that that's somewhere I came with this. I am thinking about whether the house picture being underneath the antechamber could be something interesting. I find it interesting, but I got nowhere to go with it. I just find all of this interesting. So that's something else that I did. And maybe the last thing that I will leave us with before actually moving and doing something today is that, and I don't think I have explained this previously, but apologies if I have. So one of the other big aims I have that is actually not even related to the house over there, something else, is that I've finally had the light bulb moment that we may have a blue note to get in the blue throne room now. The throne room, it's been so long since I've played. What are my buttons? The throne room is a blue room now. So, it's a blueprint. So does it have a blue memo in it if we put it on rank 8? Hey, Rebecca, have you actually already put the throne room into rank 8? Yes, I have. Yes, I have, everybody. And I looked back at the footage of when I did that. I had no thought that there might be a blue memo in there. It's already late in the day. Sorry, everyone. We really had to do this. I had to go through this. So much has happened. I have looked back at the footage of me going through the throne room when I actually just incidentally put it on rank 8. And obviously, I do not see a blue memo, but I didn't look everywhere in the room. And I did look at actually a lot of places in the room on that day for other reasons. Like, I don't know, I was looking for like a key or something, or just walking around and talking like I do. And I'm very interested to try it again, but specifically maybe to look behind the throne, which I did not do. at all in that recording. So that's just something. Wouldn't that be? It feels right to me that because it's a blueprint now, that there might be a blue memo in there for us. I don't know. We've still got the blue memo in the exam to get as well. Oh, I don't even think I've told you everything, but I've told you a lot. I've told you a lot. I've really tried my best to, I know that you guys, you want to know what I'm thinking and how I'm puzzling things. Obviously, if I have to do that between episodes, like I have had to in this case, I want to take you on that journey. So this was necessary time. I've been trying to do it in a way that captured my thought process, so that I could share that with you, but which also was kind of relatively time efficient. I didn't want to cut things out, but I've tried to weave you a satisfying level of story about how I've come to the position I've come to. All right. With that said, give me 1 second to take a break and make some tea. Then we will start. We will begin. Okay. It's full on nighttime now because not only did I make a tea and get a snack, but I had to fix sort of like the resolution of the game. It's fixed now. So let's get on with things. I've actually got so much more that I want to tell you, but what I'll tell you is, here's my plan for today. My plan for today is to begin here, to do everything I can to maximize steps. So I am aiming towards sort of what we did yesterday with getting showroom, conference room, secret garden for the fruit, dining room and kitchen, showroom obviously to get the silver spoon, to see if I can get a huge amount of steps before I go over there, because I'd really love to walk around a bunch if I can. Let's go into it and see if it seems like that's happening. And then I want to try a few things over in the other house. Today, we do not have a blessing anymore. Like we should, because we called it a day with the last day of the Monk of the Blessing, we should be able to get secret passage over the other side, in the west path, in the outer room, I should say, use my proper terminology. So we should still be able to get into the rough draft house, but we won't be able to do it tomorrow because we need the secret passage to do that, and we don't have the blessing at the monk anymore. So what I can do, thinking a couple of days ahead, is tomorrow get the shrine, get the monk blessing, call it a day in secret passage, and that'll set us up for the following day to be able to go back there. One of the reasons why I'm doing this now is because I felt like a lot of stress coming back to all of this, like a lot of pressure to come back to you all with like grand solutions, and I was like, I have a lot of work here, but I just don't have grand solutions. And I went, no, chill, Rebecca. It's fine. It's fine. How can you solve something like what happened yesterday, like in one day? No, you can't. Come back in and do what you do. Get some more information. Try some things out. Eliminate some possibilities. Go back into the ring. Let yourself, just go in and try stuff as you do. So it's okay. I'm coming back in expressly to let myself try things in a lower pressure, so with lower stakes. Let's just go in and look at it again. Let's just try some things. Let's try walking some paths. Let's try looking at the lavatory. Let me. I need some more information. Okay, now we just need to set ourselves up. So this is the perfect beginning selection of things. I reckon let's actually go break room. Because if I could get the secret key is a big part of how I'd like to do today if I can. All right. So it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's pull the calculator up. I'm sure I'm going to need it. So we're starting with 5, and that's times 2, so 10. Done. No, there's more. We're ignoring this. We're inverting this. We're halving this. Okay. So we're starting with 13 minus 4 minus 8, which gets us 1. And we don't do anything with the center yet. All right, we're on 1. We go up to 1. Sorry, everyone. I'm just gonna do my usual kind of, oh my god, which which operation do I do in what order here? 1. We ignore this one. 1 times 81. Round to the nearest 10, 80. Square. No, sorry, invert, which takes us back to 8. God, 8. Okay. If we're on 8, then we do 8 plus 4. 8 plus 12 plus the 12 plus 8, which gets us 20, minus 13, which gets us 7. We don't do anything with the center this time. And then with 7, we are multiplying by 3, because this is half of 6, times 3, which gets us 21, which we round to 20 and we invert to 2. Yeah? Oh, that was the wrong button. Oh god, there's going to be a bit of this. I've been playing like yay! Ah, how nice is that? How nice is that? I've been playing many other games, you know, in between this break, so my my instincts for the controller are a little bit rewired, but they'll come back. I have in fact played hundreds of hours of this game, so it's ingrained in my soul, in my stole as well. I don't have a stole. All right, from here, I would really like commissary. I'd like. Yeah, these are all good. Even pantry will have fruit in it, and, you know, steps is what I'm here to get. I don't want to point that way, so it's either pantry or den. I'm actually thinking of pantry, to be honest, because it's then we can use den somewhere else where it might be more useful. I'm going to hang on that apple in case we get the silver spoon, and we'll go this way. Okay. Conference room is perfect because it's something I'm aiming towards. Yes, please. Yes, please. Does conference room have any goodies? Not that I can see. All right. And in the corner, well, I don't know if I'm going to need this watering can. This watering can should still have water in it. I don't know if I'm going to need it. I don't have any plans to use it, but I do want to keep it there just in case. The thing I'm scared of is if I take it out without having any idea about how to use it, I'm worried that I won't be able to get it back into coat check. Like yesterday, I wasn't able to come back into the house. So I didn't even end up opening up the treasure trove box that we had in the house yesterday. So that I'm hoping maybe I get the same one. Yeah, that's a question for me. I think we redraw here. I'm curious about what else I can get. I mean, dormitory at least. I'm here for steps, right? I'm here for steps. I'm going to do it. Oh, and yes, I didn't even write shoes down, but running shoes was something I was kind of quietly hoping might come up. Hello, have I ever seen a window in this room before? Other than that, I think that's all we're getting so far from dormitory. Maybe we can come back here and get some good steps later. Okay. Oh, I feel so happy and nervous to be here, and it's so quiet. The game is so quiet right now. Well, lab would let us do experiments, but I do have a dangerously small amount of gems. We're in kind of, you know, we're genuinely doing like beginning game stuff here. So let's go workshop. I'm really hoping that I'm not just losing all of my steps while I do this, you know? The goal is to make them. Well, we do have the key card, so we could go closed exhibit here. We wouldn't get the crown though. But yeah, everything else is going to cut us off. So I'd rather have the exits. I do really need to get some keys, though. I do need to get some keys. Sorry, Crown. You won't be happening today. Let's try going out. Let's try going out here. Well, I do need the gems. This is good exit-wise, but let's do it. Two gems is getting us nowhere. I can't even, as soon as I see the wind-up key, I'm thinking about the whole other blue door that I don't know what to do about yet. I mean, you know, what's beyond the blue door. Maybe there's a whole nother atelier out there. I don't know. There are two, the other two boxes are true. We've got to read first. The other two boxes are true. Well, that is a lie. So this one is a lie. This box does not contain the gems. Don't know. This box contains the gems. This is so simple. This is an early game one, right? But the other two boxes are true is a lie, but that doesn't mean that one of them can't be true, right? It's not saying the problem is if we take this to mean that one of the boxes could be true. No, this is a lie, so one of the other boxes has to be true. That's what's true. This one is a lie. One of these has to be true. It has to be. It can't be that the other two boxes are false. Because that would make this true, which is not true. So this one is false. One of these has to be true. If this one is true, this box does not contain the gems, then this one is a lie. This box contains the gems, so it doesn't contain the gems, which means that the gems are actually in here. If this one is a lie, then this one contains the gems, but one of them has to be true, meaning this one would have to be true, which doesn't make sense. So I think that's the logic here. I think this one is a lie, meaning one of them is true. If this one is true, this box does not contain the gems. This one is still a lie, meaning it doesn't contain the gems, meaning the gems have to be in here. Let's do it. Let's give it a try. Okay. Whew. Still got it. Question mark. Sweat drop. Nervous. Okay. Treasure trove I would really like, and it does point in the right direction. Yep. Great. We can get our scepter. And quite frankly, I might do the same. I haven't picked up my allowance. What am I doing? I spoke for over an hour and completely forgot to look at the table again. It's all right. Money isn't actually, an issue. What do I want to do with the scepter? I really want to get showroom. So I think I'm going to do the same thing as yesterday. I think we're going to go for gold rooms. I don't know if the scepter relates to anything else in the other house, in a rough draft house, but whatever. This is my plan for right now. I might leave a little bit of money there. I think that's plenty. I have 0 keys, so we're not opening that yet. But it is the same box that we saw yesterday, so that's good. Hopefully that means, it's just the next box. They don't, if I miss opening it up, they give me the same box again. Was my great hope. Okay, well, we might as well keep drafting from here. Casino. I really don't want to. Parlor takes me up. Nook takes me down, but it does give me keys. I do really need keys at this stage, so Nook it is. Alright. Forgot to make Simon run. I was walking everywhere. Okay. Interesting. But I really need kitchen for steps. I think it would be interesting to have key 8 with me. I would like to try it. but I don't actually have any real theory about it, so I think let's just do kitchen here. Okay, it blocks off the north part of the entrance hall, but that's okay. So we got banana club sandwich, chef salad waiting for us, which is good because hopefully I'm likely to get some green rooms, and beef stew needs boiler room if we want to pump that up, which I would like to. Okay. Oh, brilliant. I mean, showroom is what I asked for. It's putting a lot of pressure on the next space to get us up, but like it's what I'm here for. It's what I'm here for. We're down to 1 gem, which is a dangerous gem level. Silver spoon. Let's buy it right now. It's what I need. But thankfully we can buy the emerald bracelet, which reduces the problem of gems in the first place. The compass will help us with everything. I can go and get money in the entrance hall. Yeah, so let's... you know, if we do manage to... This is one of those things, like, what should I do? Should I draft forward to see if there's a potential for going back into the entrance hall? Because there might be, and then we would save steps. I might also pick up the salt shaker. Either way, things are looking good, and Den here is perfect. Also gives us a gem. Thank you, Den. I'm really glad we did that. I would have to use a key to open that. Commissary would be good here, right? Get me around the corner. Can we manage commissary? Boudoir would also be good for the redraws. Let's see. Commissary. I mean, we were likely to be offered commissary, right? That's kind of perfect. That's kind of perfect. Okay. Well, let's take shovel for sure. Yeah, magnifying glass. Okay, I'm just thinking, I'm not really sure how much money. Let's leave the gems for now, because we've got emerald bracelet. I think we'll be okay. Let's see if we can, yeah, let's see if we can, it'll be hard. Ooh. No, yep. Oh, yes, aquarium will get us there. Oh, great, aquarium will get us there. So that, yeah, that's just, so will gift shop actually. What's better? I mean, gift shop gets a, here's a question. I'm gonna keep getting offered gold rooms, so I could get gift shop out of the way, which would make other rooms more likely. Do I need anything else from any other? We have kitchen, we have commissary. Not really. Not really, so I might go aquarium, which is also a gold room as well. That, I don't know if I want that or not, quite frankly. So we can pick up our allowance. Alright, good, great. Yeah, okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. I don't know how much... I don't know how much I'm really worried about getting jackhammer today. We do have the battery pack and the shovel. Let's just do it. Key. Alright, that's cool. That's actually really useful. Thank you, fish. Thank you, fish. So there's more gems available in there. That's okay. I would have liked the salt shaker. So I could go back in there right now to buy things in the kitchen, and like ornate compass would be great. That's going to take 50, but I think it might be super useful, right? Yeah, I'll leave moon pendant for now, as good as it is. I am trying to be a little careful with my cash. We could 8. Yeah, it's not very much. Maybe we'll leave it, because if we get the salt shaker, it's a bit, yeah. Okay, and I think since we're here, we might as well actually go back to Treasure Trove, pick up our extra money. Good. Okay, that puts us in a better position to, you know, to purchase other stuff. With only 3 keys, I don't know if I feel I love that option, so I might actually continue. I might actually go back up from closed exhibit since we're here. Cool. Dining room. Perfect. Perfect. Wow, I've got almost all of the rooms I wanted now. But what I really would love to get in addition is the secret garden key. So I wonder if we can make that happen. We might as well take the enjoy a lunch right now, because that's not getting better. I mean, maybe the salt shaker would help with that. Let's draft inwards. It would be good to... We might find... there we go. We're already using the keys. We don't have the option for master key today. Yeah, which makes locksmith actually sort of compelling. And this could also get me the secret garden key. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's a possibility and it can help me with key problems. Give me that special key. Secret garden key. Secret garden key. It's really making me wait. Oh, it's secret garden key. I think I've gotten everything I was wishing. Kitchen, dining room, secret garden key, conference room, and the showroom with the spoon. That's everything I had written down. That's freaking amazing. We might as well buy 3 keys. Dang, should I buy the lockpick kit? Yes. Let's go for it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, if this is locked, we'll be doing great. No, it's not, but let's, in that case, put the gift shop here and see if the next section is locked. Hello, favorite room. Yes, secret garden. That's kind of mad. The mad laughter of triumph. I'm just gonna go because I would rather get turnips than honestly redraw die today. Any more? Now. Probably could have been useful experiments. Since we're here, I don't know if this is going to be useful. I don't even know if I'm going in here today. But we might as well open it up. We might as well. It's been a long time. It's nice to do this again. Hello, wind vane. My precious wind vane. With the duck. You're a duck, aren't you? Not a swan. I don't think I have any mysterious notes about ducks. Maybe you are a swan. Have we covered this before? Honestly, probably. Probably like 60 episodes ago I was all, is this a duck or a swan? And talked about, you know, looks like a duck or a goose. Just doesn't really look like a swan to me. You know, I'm sure that I was like, oh, what if I point everything southward and blah, blah, blah. But you know, ideas come and go over time. I forget that I said certain things. I rediscover ideas. All right. Man, do I have any reason really to go on? Like, I could connect with Foundation and then leave easily, but the fact is I actually have to go through the house to get my... Let's try a... Yeah, I don't know. Let's try a draft that connects us with the Foundation, because why not? Observatory or laboratory. Oh, both good. Both good. Both good. Observatory. I don't know why. I don't know why. Hello, Observatory. What have you got for me? Inkwell, which I'm not using. And steps! It's a small amount, but I'll take everything I can get. Great. Cool. Okay, so we've got a Foundation connection. I think I'm ready to go. I think with this, You know, like, the fact is, there might be cool things I can do in the house or important things I can do in the house that I need before I go over to the atelier, but I don't know what they are. Like, I could try to just get every item I could before going over there, but... You know, but I don't know what to do. So, what I've achieved here... Unless this could be boiler room. It's wasting steps trying this, but what if it could be? All bedrooms, eh? Pity I don't have the sleeping mask. Well, bunk room might have bits of fruit in it. Bunk room. No, it's got keys. Oh well, that's fine. It's fine. Thank you, bunk room. Hello, little guy. You taking care? You doing well? Yeah. Ah, you're so cute. What the hell? Okay, yeah. We don't... I think it's just a bit much to go for the boiler room possibility at this... I haven't... I'm so silly. I need to waste steps now. Ah! We might as well draft here then. I need to waste steps here going back. Oh, well, look, we might as well get gallery then. We might as well go with key 8. It's on offer, right? Yay! Hey, key 8. You know, you're so mysterious and useful for so many things. Maybe you're actually really important. Cool. I don't know. Let's draft. Let's try it. Attic. Attic's great. Attic's great here. Look, there we go. Some more stuff. Some more stuff. I've had to use up the extra steps anyway. Oh, there we go. We can do jackhammer as an option. The problem is if I do that, I'm not going to get turnips, which would be preferable. Sweet. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Oh, great. That I know what I'm going to do with. Coupon book. Well, that'll save us some money in the kitchen. And key. That's it. Oh, attic has swan as well. That was what I forgot to mention before. Alright. That's what we're going with. So hopefully now... Hopefully... Silly. I forgot about the rank 8 thing. Okay. Silver spoon, do your work. Yep. Have that dinner. 40. Good. So that at least gets us significantly above where we started. Now from dining room we're going... Where are we going? We need to go to conference room, so we could go down, down, down conference room. Kitchen is a little bit out of the way either way. We either go to kitchen like this, or... So from conference room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or... One, two, three, four, 5. Yeah. Alright, so how about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, we'll do that. We'll go conference room. Though there's also steps to potentially get from dormitory, aren't there? Do I have drafting rooms drafted? Do I not? Do I not have any? Maybe I don't have any. Oh, okay, well, that's not a factor then. So we'll go closed exhibit. We'll go straight ahead. Get all of this fruit. Yum, 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 yum. Excellent. I'm liking those numbers I'm seeing up there. And then we will go, yeah, we'll go around the kitchen and out. Whee! Not too bad, not too bad. And we can, yeah, we can use this now. What have you got for me, treasure trove? A red truth. The monk waits beyond the second chamber. Do you mean the monk behind the anti-chamber? Oh my god, that's what it means. Yeah. I think so. I think that's what it means. The monk waits beyond the second chamber. Interesting. The second antechamber, so the one that we draft in the outer room, yeah, it has the shrine monk behind it. Ah, that's cool. I like that just as a message. Okay, well, I just got to write this down. The monk waits beyond the second chamber. Where am I putting that? In my massive notebook. The monk. So it's a red handwritten. The monk waits beyond the second chamber. Second chamber. Second chamber. That's a cool hint. I really enjoy that one. Excellent. Cool. And from here we're going just kitchen. Kitchen. No, nook then kitchen. Nook then kitchen. Nook. Kitchen. Great. Unfortunately I don't have... Alright, club sandwich. Excellent, look at that. Oh my god, I can't believe this has worked so well. I just really wanted to go into the draft with loads of steps. I think this might even be more than I went in with yesterday. Oh my god, yes. And there's not... We could only get more if we were able to draft a green room from Den. Like, maybe. Should we give it a go? It's only... We've got a lot of steps. It's only 4 steps if it doesn't work, right? Yeah, let's try it. Shall we buy moon pendant? What else am I doing with this money? There we go. We got a discount anyway. Trunk. Yes, our first redraw die. Maybe we could use that to get a green room. It's not really the green room I wanted. And I'm like, in trying to get a green room, I'm sort of like negating the steps that I earn from it anyway. It is what I was after, but I don't want to be cut off like this ideally. Let's try a redraw. Hasn't really worked. Hasn't really worked. Alright, I'm gonna just try these last 2 doors and then I'm walking away. Boiler room. Damn it, too late. Too late. Well, I might just in case put coat check here then. Okay, spare veranda is perfect. Yep, that's what I want here. Okay, that at least gets us a green room. Shall I go and see what's in the trunk? I do have loads of steps. Whatever. I'm too curious. Okay, bunch of gems. In fact, 8 gems. Maybe that's actually of critical importance. So, den, showroom, kitchen. We'll get this salad, which probably I've just used up too many steps now anyway. Whatever. I tried. Oh no, we actually get loads. Okay, that's fine. That's great. Excellent. We saved money. We earned extra steps. Yeah, that was worth it. Oh, and this counts as a green room too. I forgot about that. Yes. Oh, guys, it's worked out really well. Oh man. Okay. it's probably like midnight or like well past, but here we are. This is exactly how I wanted to start today. This was the best thing I could think of to give me a good I did just think to myself, like, it might be a cool day to try to get the blue throne room up here, which would mean ideally trying to get study and or many more redraws somewhere. Look, maybe that's for later. Right now, I want to take these 208 steps with me. Excuse me. Oh, it's the microchip? Because I had the microchips. Okay. Forgot about that. Are we ready? I've got a lot of stuff. Yeah, let's do it. I'm just super keen. I'm super keen to go over there. I'm gonna wish myself luck. Yay. Is it telling me that there are coins in the fountain? Wow, have I never come out here with the metal detector? The one problem I have, oh my god. Oh, this is potentially a problem, isn't it? Is secret passage going to be offered to me immediately? Or am I potentially going to need to take redraws? I have the inkwell. It's fine. We have the inkwell as a... Yep, it's fine. Whew, I think it will. I think when you call it a day in a room... Sure, we'll rescue the microchip. I think when you call it a day in a room and it comes into the outer path, I think it is in the first offerings. Thank you. Secret passage. It's blue. This is what I was hoping. So we can simply open it, yeah? I really... This whole time... This is open, yeah? Oh my god. I'm having so many heart attacks all next to each other. It's like everything's permanently open, right? This whole time I haven't really known. I've been hoping that things would work the way that they did. I've been reasoning that things would work the way that they did, but I did not fully know. Wow. I don't even... Because I think I was so freaking amazed. I don't think I ever really did a proper look in here. Oh, here we are. We've made it. We've got 207 steps to our name. Whew. This has been a long time coming for me. I need a sip of tea. This has been a long time coming. We're back. It's all the same, yeah? Nothing's changed. Yeah, so I think even where it's written, I think this is sort of the prism. Don't go where the path leads. Well, why did you show me a path? Why did you put paths here for me to find? Yeah, I'll be curious to see, this house thing here. The house, like maybe these are letters, maybe they're stories. I'll be curious to see if bedroom is the different color that I was talking about. I don't even remember this panel. Just gotta check, is it all... Ballroom is a place of interest to me. Drawing room is the E of hue. Lavatory is a place of interest. But yeah, bedroom isn't represented here, is it? Is it here? No. Oh, I am nervous. I am nervous. Let's go in, and thankfully this time I've got a map. Now here's the big question now that we've made it to this point and possibly put ourselves in some sort of good position. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the footage to see if the same thing happened there with bedroom. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Okay, it was exactly the same. The bedroom was the only room plan that was sort of in a very distinctly grey, like had very distinctly kind of greyer lines than the rest of them. So I don't know what that means, but I find it interesting. I have noticed and I wonder about it. As far as what do I do now that I'm here? Well, that's going to be in the next episode. Thank you for your understanding, everybody. There is a lot more to this day, the usual thing that I say when we get to this point, but there truly is. So I had to split this one, but thank you for your understanding and thank you for your patience today. I hope for those of you who love listening to my thoughts, I hope that this was interesting. I hope for those of you who like seeing my notes, you got a whole bunch of them today. It's actually took a much longer time than it usually does to edit this episode together. So for those of you who are interested in that, yeah, you got a big walkthrough through my personal archives there. So I hope that was enjoyable. I will see you guys in the next episode where we will continue this day. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for being such an amazing, amazing Blueprints community. As always, I truly, truly appreciate it. I hope you join me for the next episode. I'll see you there. Take care. Do something lovely for yourself because you definitely deserve it. Be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everybody.